What's up, guys? We are back. Fitness Profit Multiplier here, helping gym owners put more profit in their pocket. It's Anthony Bevilacqua and Jimmy McCurry. Today, we're going to be discussing, should you sell month-to-month contracts? Should you sell long-term contracts, 12-month contracts, 4-month contracts? I mean, I feel like in the fitness industry, there's a ton of options that you can sell people. So which one of them are right? Which one should you sell? And we've basically have sold everything at this point. So we'll tell you which ones have worked the best, which ones were the worst, and go from there. But Big Jimmy, man, I'm excited to talk about month-to-month or 12-month because, again, I don't know. Sometimes I go back and forth between 12-month and 1 month, but there are other options in between. But I think that the worst thing gym owners do is they have a sheet. Here are our prices, Mrs. Jones, and it has month-to-month, 3-month, 6-month, 12-month, 27 years. They have all these options on there. A confused mind, guys, never buys. You have to keep that in mind. So you got to keep your pricing very, very simple. And I believe that you should be selling one option with one backup option, and we'll discuss that. So let's Jimmy, why don't you give us your background? We'll start with you first. Give us your background. What did you use to sell when you first opened up your gym? What did you sell in the middle, and where are you now?
Right. So look at these processes, and you guys go back a cast or two. We talked about front-end offers, right?
Look at you using slang, man. A cast or two.
A cast or two before the cast. so the typical process is front-end offer, convert into continuity, right? Typically what you see in the industry, typically what you see all the gurus telling you, right? Convert into continuity. And the continuity could be 6 months, could be 12 months, whatever it may be, right? And your front end could be any duration that you make it. So when you look at that, that was what everybody was saying to do. So I was following suit and doing that, right? Just like everyone else is, okay? Then you have a contractual obligation from the client to be on a 12-month, right? And 12-month is typically what we did for the longest time, right? Now, when you look at a 12-month, there are a couple issues with it, right? And, end of the story, spoiler, we've switched to month-to-month, right? Now,
you gave away the best part, man.
Gave away the best part. We switched to month-to-month. Month-to-month is what I would deem as better. We gave it away, but we'll dive into why we changed it, because we've been in business for about 7.5 years or so, us at my facility. And for about 6 years, we did 12-month agreements, right? And we did 12-month agreements because we wanted people to be committed for that period of time. We wanted to project revenues. We wanted to make sure that we had that money coming in, and we knew that it was coming in. But with 12-month contracts, you still deal with people canceling their cards. You still deal with people wanting to cancel and being really, really upset about you holding them to their agreement. And in all reality, as much as a business operates as a business, we're in the business of people. And sometimes it doesn't feel great when somebody has something that comes up and you go, well, I'm holding you to your contract, Mrs. Jones, right? Well, you have to pay X amount to get out of it. It's great for revenue, but there's something in your stomach, at least for us, that feels kind of off, right? And this is your business. You can do it whatever way you want. Just because the gurus say, well, you hold them to your contract and it's business and it's this and it's that, doesn't mean you're not going to be profitable if you don't do that, and doesn't mean that you're not going to have a great life and a great business if you do that or don't do that. Just because the big franchises and just because the guru out there tells you that's what you have to do, doesn't mean that you have to do it, right? Now we look at year agreements. The year agreement had been something that I didn't realize was a barrier to conversion, right? So we used to have 6 options, right? We had 3 options for month-to-month and 3 options for year agreement, right? Month-to-months were a little more expensive. The years were a little bit cheaper. It was the whole deal. And I downsell them off the year to the month-to-month, but the month-to-month was so much more expensive that it didn't make sense to do the month-to-month. It made sense to do the year, right? Now, we kept doing that, and I had stuck to my guns, and I'm like, we got to do it, keep doing the year. Because I thought it projected our revenue better over time because we had committed people that were contractually obligated to continue. Now, not all of them continued the full agreement, right? And we had some disgruntled people, some people that said they were going to challenge the charges and, you know, report us and this and that because they wanted out, and they just were, you know, trying to use whatever leverage they could to get out of the agreement. But what we noticed when we finally changed over to month-to-month agreements, our revenue per month went up by 10 grand. Okay. Switching from year agreements to month-to-month agreements, our revenue went up 10 grand from 1 month to the next, right? Now, why is that? Well, it's month to month with a 30-day cancellation policy. So you get somebody that signs up, they're committed for at least 2 months, and you explain that to them. So if you've been running a front-end offer all this time, your front-end offer now goes from a one-time bill to 2 bills that are now worth double what they were. So if you didn't convert them, if you didn't give them a good enough experience, they're at least in your facility for 2 months. And our attrition rate went up slightly after making that change. But your attrition rate goes up slightly, but your revenue goes up significantly. I would say that it's a good move to make, right? And we're never looking back at this point. So right into month to month.
I think that the 2 offers that gym owners should sell, and the ones that I love the most, is you have a month-to-month or a 12-month. And again, I've sold both, right? And Jimmy mentioned all the downsides to 12-month. But what I absolutely hate is the things in between. 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, 16 weeks, all these random things that people put together. I hate those in between ones. And the reason why I hate them is because it defines in the prospect's mind an end time. All right, I'm going to do this for 3 months and that's it. And their 3 months comes and they're done. And like, yes, you've collected the revenue for 3 months. But if you put them on a month to month, they might initially say, okay, I'm going to do 3 months. But then maybe halfway through, they realize, okay, I'm not really where I need to do. I'll do another 2 months. And now instead of them staying 3 months, they've stayed 5 months. And again, on a month to month, it just keeps rolling over. So they don't have to worry about, oh, my contract's ending. What am I doing? And I tried 3 months. I used to have like a 16-week program. I used to sell 12-month and then 16-week program was the downside. And I always used to tell them, okay, it's 16 weeks, which is 4 months, and then it rolls month to month. And no one remembered that it rolled month to month. No matter, even if they initialed it on the contract, they do not remember it. So month to month just makes it, one, very, very easy for the salesperson to sell because it's a month to month. And again, the whole thing is, if you don't like it, Mrs. Jones, you can cancel, no problem. We're not holding you to anything. So there's no barrier there. And in their mind, like I said, there's no end date. Even if they put that, okay, I'm going to do this for 3 months or whatever it is in their mind, they might change their mind along the way. If they like it, they'll continue. They're on month to month. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to change anything. So again, 12 months, I do think does lock some people in initially because they're like, oh, I have a 12 month. I've had people who have said to me, all right, when is my year up? Like, because they were looking to be done with it and they wanted to get out. And they did stay there 12 months. They honored their contractual obligation. But on the other side, Jimmy said that it's a problem. I do like the fact that when they sign up for a 12-month, they're actually committing themselves. And again, we listed all the cons, right? But they're initially saying, okay, I'm going to do this for a year, right? If you have somebody good to their word, it's good. But you need a much more skilled salesperson to sell that. You need a much more skilled person to actually close that sale because that's going to be a big barrier. Oh, I don't really want to do a 12-month. That's what they always say. Oh, I don't know. 12 months is a long time. I'm going to travel. The tooth fairy is going to come visit me. You know, they come up with all these different excuses. So month to month just kills all those other barriers. And for me, when I switched from 12-month to month, my attrition basically stayed the same. Nothing really changed. So for us, it's just kind of a no-brainer, and it's easier to sell. So that's why I love month to month. But I also do like 12 month. I think it is something that you could use. But again, if you're going to do 12 month, you need an option after that. You definitely need a backup, because if that commitment level scares somebody, you need a backup. And I would make it one option, make it very, very simple. Hey, you don't want to do 12 months, no problem. We have a month-to-month option. It's 3 times a week. It's X. And that's it. That's the one thing that you sell. And then if they don't want to do 12 months, they just go right into that and you're done. You have them on a month-to-month. At least you sign them up. So I think if you're going to sell anything, I think it's either got to be month-to-month, which is optimal. And I think that that's the best way to go about it. But if you do like the idea of selling 12 months, sell 12 months with a backup underneath that. But never sell the middle. Never sell the middle, because they're going to be rooted to that, and then they're going to be in nowhere's land. They're, like I said, they're going to stick to their contract obligation. Okay, I'm doing 3 months here and gone. Even if it rolls month to month, they have 3 months in their mind. Every time they walk into your facility, I'm doing a 12-week challenge. So they're already telling themselves they're out the door. No one walks into my facility every day, or Jimmy's facility, and says, hey, I'm on a month-to-month challenge at the gym. You know, it's not realistic. They don't even think about it. It's month to month. It's like Netflix. It's like everything else. They can cancel whenever they want. And I think by giving them that freedom to cancel whenever they want, they have the freedom to say, I'll do another month. I'll do another month. So that's the spiel. I do love paid in fulls too, but again, that's going to be another whole topic that we can talk about. Paid in fulls does lock them in, different story. But I think to get them into the facility, month to month, ideal. So should you sell month to month? Should you sell 12 month? Basically up to you at this point. You can kind of do whatever you want in that case. But I definitely think those middle ones, X them. Get them off your price list. Sell one option. Month to month, 12 months, whatever it is. But that's my take on it, man. I mean, and that's, again, like I've said, I've never had a front end offer. It was always rolling people right off the street, right into 12-month commitments, and we were able to do that. But switching to month to month has been a lot easier, because it eliminates one extra barrier for them. And yeah, that's just what I've noticed. I don't know if you want to have anything you want to add to that.
When one point that's important when you're going month to month is that you want to have a specific cancellation policy, right? So it's not just cancel anytime, because you need to project your revenues, right? So a lot of programs and month-to-month programs out there do have cancellation policies in terms of how early you need to let somebody know that you're canceling out your month-to-month system. This exists everywhere, right? And we're no different. So don't just consider yourself, I mean, when you look at all these month-to-month subscriptions that you have, some of them are cancel anytime, right? Where you cancel, and then if you have another bill that comes up, you don't get billed that next bill as long as you cancel X amount of time ahead of that bill. We like 30 days. So the cancellation policy is, if a bill exists within 30 days of your cancellation notification, you will be billed one more time, and then you will be out of the facility. What that allows you to do is gives you the runway to backfill that client with somebody new, right? So you're going to go full month to month. My recommendation is that we have a 30-day cancellation policy. Some people get a little bit disgruntled about it here and there. They're like, oh, I should just be able to cancel. My bill is not till a couple of days from now, blah, 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 right? But it allows you to project your revenues moving forward and gives you the runway of another 30 days after that person cancels to replace them, so that you can project your revenue more easily, right? So 30-day cancellation notice, very easy. You explain it to them. Nobody balks at it. It's fine. Some people balk a little bit when you enforce it, but just enforce it because they're canceling anyway. So getting another month of payment out of that individual allows you to really have that additional runway to keep your business healthy. Because you get a bunch of people canceling all at the same time, you lose that revenue like that. Instead, if you have a cancellation policy, you lose that revenue the following month, so you can backfill it and you can work your tail off to catch back up, right?
Yeah, for us, we did the 30-day initially, and then we had people, because our membership contracts are 28-day long. So
Mhm.
people are like, well, how do I cancel 30 days if it's only 28? So we said, okay, and the 28 to us, the 30-day to us, didn't really make sense because you're still kind of locking them in a little bit. And we had people back out of a lot, actually. So what we did first, we cut it down to 15 days before their bill. And again, we were still getting people hemming and hawing. And now we just are 7 days. And no one says anything because 7 days is understandable. So they get it, 7 days, that's where they're going to be billed, and that's it. So ours is 7 days. So again, it doesn't really matter. However you, ideally, Jimmy's way is probably correct. But I think to make the clients happy and to truly be month to month, again, it just eliminates another barrier for us. It's like, okay, well, if you want to cancel, all you got to do is let us know 7 days before your next bill. And that's it. So for us, that's what's been working. Again, no right or wrong here. You kind of said this before, but we make our own rules, right?
You do.
I have my gym, Jimmy has his gym, you have your gym listening to this. So you make the rules that work for you. If you want to do 30 days, do 30 days. The main thing is you just have to have a reason why. You have to explain to them why. That's it. So do that, guys.
The non-negotiable is pick up the phone and start dialing. That's the non-negotiable.
Pick up the phone and start dialing. Insert Wolf of Wall Street here. It's funny. I wanted to watch the movie this weekend, and then I just didn't get a chance to. But I love that movie. That's a great movie.
Man.
Probably one of my favorite movies. It's a great movie, though. All right, guys. If you want to hop on the phone with us to learn how to scale your business and gain more profits, just click that link below, and that will direct you to our calendar, and you can book your free discovery call with us, and we'll be happy to help you get to that next level. All right, guys. Anthony and Jimmy. And we are out.